everyone. Oops, light. Sorry. There we go. Hello everyone, and thanks for joining me for another Master Lock Style Tai Chi and Qigong class. Let's take right hand and fist, please. Left hand straight, pull back the thumb, feet together, hands together, and we salute. Good stuff. So we open our stance, please, and we'll just begin with a little bit of limbering, rolling into the four corners, and breathing. Good. Just before we started recording, we were talking about masterclass, where only a few movements were covered, and there was an encouragement to just do the first few movements for a few years before moving on to the rest of a form. Now this was in Chen style and spear, but it's very typical that that way of thinking in all Tai Chi, actually. I remember one of my teachers saying, you know, in China we would just do this for a few years until it was really clean. Whereas the temptation is, I'm sure for the Chinese as well, it's not just Westerners, but we want to gain more knowledge, we want to push on ahead and gain a great deal of knowledge and skills. Change direction, please. But actually, it's not the number of moves that we know, but how we can connect with and express those moves that actually reflect our ability. So knowledge is a fine thing, but we are doing an experiential practice. Sorry, I've got cats here and they are digging away. Good, all right. So let's come back to center and we'll do a little Wuji. We lengthen up, chin slightly down and back, and release, relax down through your body. And as you do that, I'm going to step out for a second, so you continue please. Calming down. There we go. High spirits today. Good. So we want to feel the weight of the body releasing down. Let the toes spread and feel your weight spreading evenly across your feet. Calming down and listening behind. Now, this is in essence the foundation of all your practice. It is the seed of standing practice, same posture, same work. So if you want to develop your Tai Chi, you can actually spend more time in preparation. More time just standing, just releasing, just letting go. If you've done any Chen practice, you'll know that we do standing practice before form. And Master Locke similarly has encouraged us to do 30 minutes standing, even just in Wuji, before and after our practice. Now that's in an ideal world if you have all the time to practice, but even a few minutes will make a difference. You'll find that you're settling, you're releasing, and you're more connected with your system. Good, so let's bring the awareness gently back to this space. Slowly, gently, if your eyes are closed, open your eyes. And let's begin with Open Door 5 as the first movement in the 7 stars in rotations Qigong. Resting level with center. Excuse me. Ready? We do our little pastry roll. We just gently roll forwards and back. In preparation for movement 2. Feel the small of your back gently fill and release. And then into movement 2. Change direction. Back to center and absorb the ball in. On the higher level, changing direction. Back to center for movement 3. Gather. Check posture and relax to center. Take a few moments to calm. And second set. Feel your way. Check posture. Relax to center. Notice your heart rate, your breathing, how your body feels. Let go. Third set. Be mindful of your knees. Make sure they're staying in line with your feet as you bend. Cover center. Check posture. And relax to center. Good, now we release and we do our little centering move. Good, and let's turn to the front left, to our southeast corner. And we're going to do dragon. So we very gently oscillate left and right as we circle the hands around, feeling the way up the ladder of the spine. Keeping good posture, relaxing as you go. Keeping the chin slightly down as you walk up through the vertebrae of the neck. And step into the tiger. Onto the phoenix. And onto the snake. Release, circle to the other side. Good. Back to center for the turtle. Sit back and down. Lengthen the top of the head, keeping the chin down. Stretch. Fill the back. And release. Movement 5, the 5 elements. Gold. So we step through. Rock back, square up. Step through. Onto water, block. Step back and pierce. Onto wood. Half step and stretch. Full step. Half step and stretch. Onto fire. turn, block, half step and rise. Very like Jade Maiden, block and rise. But with a rise, block and rise. Good, onto the earth element. Feel the ball between your hands. And come in. Movement 6, the 6 harmonies. Starting the same way. And now we swing. Step through and open. Back the way you came. Step, swing, step, open. Keep turning the same direction for martial flowers. So let's step forwards and back to the other side. Stepping forwards and back. Return to center. And prepare for movement 7. 7 stars in rotation. We lengthen up, relax down, calming down. Listening behind. And we scoop. Right hand under. Turn the ball, push left heel out. Left arm reaches towards the center of the circle and release the right foot. 8 steps round, starting with the outside foot. Off you go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Again, please. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Turn in, hug ball, release left foot, right hand towards the center of the circle. Off you go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And rest. Good. Heel tap. And you can stand for a moment. Notice your heart rate. Notice your breathing. Allow your body to calm down. Very good. And you can ease from your stance. Have a little move around, have a stretch. See how you feel. Good. Okay. Warm up done. All right. So let us now have a look at our Phoenix form, and we're going to do both sides. Let's just go for flow today. Just let it play out. What I notice when we do both sides is at the end of the first side, we're actually quite far forwards. So we can add a little step back. And I'm just wondering about like a choreography way to step back. Would that be nice to add a little move rather than just shuffling back? Let me see your second side. Normally we're just meant to scoop under. You could scoop under and scoop under and scoop under and scoop under and scoop under. Something like that, maybe, just to get us back, just to keep the flow rather than just this sort of awkward shuffle. Let me see, we want to finish with the right foot forwards. So if we scoop under, we step back left, right, then we can expand, turn and step. So we're going to take 4 steps back. If we can remember. The thing is, autopilot plays terrible tricks on us sometimes. If our body's used to doing something, quite often I just forget and close. And that's okay, you can do that and start again. But let's see if we can keep each other right. So at the end of the first side, we do 4 little scoops. And as we scoop, we step back 4 times to the diagonal, and that will have us in a nice position in the space to start on the second side. Best made plans of mice and men, hey? Let's try, okay? So we begin. In view, yeah, just about, okay. Gosh, that seems awfully far forwards, let's see. Maybe there, okay. All right, are we ready, everyone? We lengthen up and calm down. Just take a moment to release, to arrive, to listen. Ready, extend the fingers down, and we begin. So getting ready for our new little sequence. So we're going to scoop under, step back 1, 2, 3, 4, and expand, and the front foot steps forwards. Isn't that nicer than just stopping and starting? Good. And of course you could just keep going and do that again, go back for 4, but this time we won't, we'll finish. Take a breath. Point to the floor, and we close left this time. Just let your body calm for a moment, stay with it. Observe the process of returning to neutral. Very good, and a little heel tap. Excellent, excellent. Good. So how did you get on? Did you find that scooping reasonable? Yeah? Good, okay. Yeah. I'm not shy of adding choreography if it's required. Now, of course, if you've loads of space, then there's no need for it. But if you're working on a postage stamp, then sometimes it is necessary. When I was doing Chen style lauja in the sitting room, often, there just wasn't enough room to do all of the cloud hands. However, I decided in order to keep body memory happy, we would just do all of the sets anyway, which did require a little bit of, stepping out of it and moving. But I figured that actually if we reduced the number of cloud hands, that's what cloud hands are for, actually, for repositioning yourself in the room. But if we reduced the number of cloud hands regularly for sitting room purposes, then in the presence of a master or just doing it in a large space, that would be the body memory, and so it would have altered the deep blueprint of the form, which is not what I wanted to do. However, with something like this, I think it's okay to add something to reposition, especially because it's at the end of one sequence or one form before the beginning of another. So I'm not shy about that, but just bear in mind that that's what I'm doing. I'm sort of giving you a pathway to connect rather than to break the flow. But it's not the original choreography, it's not Master Locke's choreography. He encourages us that after we've done the first side, we just come under, expand and step into the second side, which is lovely. It's just that I've noticed we end up at the front of the space, and so we can run out of space. So eventually you're going to end up shuffling back. So in my opinion, better to make it part of the flow. Good, okay, so we're going to, unless there's any questions or comments about Phoenix, we're going to move on to our Immortals and give it some decent time. We've been doing the balance at the end of the Immortals, or rather the other way around, this way, and then this way before the step back. But remember that that can be a jump. The balance is a kind of concession to the fact that not everyone will want to or be able to comfortably jump. So we'll maybe just take a little look at that for a second. We'll do both the standing version of overseeing territory and the, if you're a dancer, you would call it a hitch kick of overseeing territory. We'll just look at that just for a moment now. And then in the form, you'll be aware that at that point you have a choice. Do you feel like jumping or do you feel like balancing? And it's quite nice to do both some of the time if you're capable. It can be a case of use it or lose it. So if you don't ever do a jump kick, you may never be able to. It's a sort of cause and effect thing. So let's have a little look. So you have just done, what have you just done? You've just done a push. So you're stepping on your right foot, and if you see it from the front, your palms are overlapped with your right hand leading, your left hand behind, and you're pressing forwards. So it's a little bit like a chest compression, but forwards. Okay. So we'll do the balance first. So we do a martial floor to get into it. We can feed the weight back and bring the right hand over the top and circle around. And at this point I would turn the right foot out a little bit to give you more stability. Feed into the right hand down onto the platform, and the left side comes from out to in, so going from lateral to medial, and there's your balance. So we want the elbow above the knee, the hand above the foot, and you're looking over the tops of your fingertips. Then we sit down, set the foot down slightly back, if you like, and the same, the right side coming in. Check your posture, top of the head up, chin down and back, elbow above knee, fingers point up, toes point down, and the left palm, if you look, is on the little platform, about level with your dandian. Good, so that's your balance version. We step down, step diagonally back into your immortal sacred sword. Okay, so let's do that again without all the pausing. Okay, so we're standing on the right, and we come across, turn, left side in, engage, and down, right side in, engage, and release, down, step back, and split. Good. Okay, so you can stamp it before you step back, or you can just step. For some reason, I'm always drawn to the stamp at that stage. There seems something very balancing about the yin of the up and the light and the balance, and then boom, before you step back. But it's up to you. You could just bring your foot down. You could just place it and step back. So it could be fudge in if you want. It could really be a boom and back, or simply place and back. One more time with that, and then we'll do the jump, and then we'll do the whole form. Okay, ready? Right foot forwards. And good. Especially because it is designed as a jump kick, I find that stamp just helps to earth you and makes the yin yang quite yummy, quite balancy, rather than everything much the same. Okay, so let's have a look at the jump. So I'll do it facing you first. I'm not mirroring or anything, but just so that you can see. And I would recommend, if you do the jump, or if you're going to do the jump, take off any jewellery that you might whack yourself with. Okay, so we go across, and we go down, down, hitch kick, step back, or step down, step back. Now, if you missed that, I can do it a little bit slower, but jumps tend to be fast because you can't hang in the air indefinitely. So you come across, right hand down into the right foot, left hand down, more into the right foot, lift the back leg up into the air and kick to step down and step back. Okay, so just watch one more time. Good. And because I'm doing the jump kick now, I don't feel the urge to do the stamp so much, because I've done the stamp, I've done the slap, and so I can step down or stamp down very softly. So that becomes yin, because the jump becomes yang. So you can have a play with it, you can watch if you prefer. We'll just do it a couple of times, then we'll do the form. Ready? From the right foot forwards. And right, left, hitch kick. Step down, step back, and split. Again, please. So traditionally we do this 10,000 times. Today we'll do it 3 times, okay? Just to give you an introduction, especially as I know people have recently had joint replacements. We don't want to push our luck. Ready? So we go across, right, left, kick, step, back. Once more with feeling. Ready? And good. And rest. So you might have noticed that last time, sometimes you can get a bounce. So after you've come down from a kick, you get this little boing. So you might, there's a wee bounce. That's okay, that's normal. If you bounce the ball, it'll bounce up again. So what I would recommend is each time you do your Tai Chi, any move, any practice, you observe, you listen, you feel. Notice what comes naturally. Quite often that's correct. Sometimes I see people doing weird and wonderful things. I saw the other day a student doing some of Master Locke's work, but she was adding an extra flourish, and people do that. Sometimes, you know, you'll see them kind of doing a wee something, and I would encourage you away from flourishing. The Chen style is flourish free. You know, even Xinjia, that is more curly and more spirally. Any movement is not a flourish, it is a coil. And Master Locke is very admirous of Chen's style, so his work does not flourish either. So there should be no extraneous movement. Any movement should come from center. Every movement should be deliberate. So be careful that you're not adding twiddly things, because it just gets in the way. It's not martial, unless there is a martial application behind it, in which case you're actually adding choreography, like I did earlier in the class. But in general, try to avoid flourishes and just keep the purity of what you're trying to express. That will give you a clean and true reflection of the whole essence of Tai Chi. It can't. I've seen some folks who flourish a lot, and it's fluff. You know, it might look nice, but it's not a true reflection of the style. Okay, so with 10 minutes, let's have a wee go through the whole of Immortals crossing the sea. Ready? Calming down. Listen behind. Ready, and left hand under. Pluck right, turn to the back. Step to the side left. Pluck left, turn to the left. Right hand opens. Pluck right, feed the weight back. And fishing toad. Now, which are you going to do? I'm going to do the jump. closing left. Very good, very good. So all things being equal, it's just a choice. It's how you feel on the day. Do you feel like jumping? Do you feel like standing? Like balancing? But of course, there may be health and safety or just capability reasons why you choose what you do, or you feel, well, I don't have a choice, I can't jump at the moment, so I'll not. And that's absolutely fine. You can decide before you start a form when you come to such a movement, or you can just see how you feel at that instant. Do I feel like jumping? Sometimes you'll surprise yourself and go, yeah, let's do it. And sometimes it's just, no. Or you can just do one way and stick to it. Though I think it is nice for our spirit to feel we have options and to try these things, even if it is a very gentle little jump. That can be nice too, you know, just to experience, just to have variety. But if we go back to the very first thing we mentioned in the class, it's good to do things many, many, many times, hundreds of times, in order to really get the juice out of them and to get to the point that you're proficient. That's Kung Fu. That's what Kung Fu means, to just do it again and again and again until you are razor sharp, until you're really cooking on gas. And of course, as I say, if you are building up to a movement for the first time, or if you're recovering from injury or operations, you need to do it one drip at a time and not blast yourself with 10,000 repetitions in one afternoon. Not a good idea. Okay, let's warm down, please. I think you did very well. It feels like it's flowing. I'm trying very hard not to eyeball the screen to put you off, but I am keeping my peripheral vision on you. So doing that teacher's eyes at the back of the head thing to just make sure you're flowing nicely, that you're coping. And I've got to say, I think you are. I know we have one in the group who is quite new to some of this work, and yet you're following very nicely. So personally, I don't think it's about getting every movement right. It's about allowing yourself to relax enough to be in flow and just follow. If you're able to relax and follow, then even if you're not getting it right, you'll be in flow and you're much less at risk of injury than if you're overly concerned and worried about everything you're doing. That tightens and tenses the entire structure, which then in turn is more likely to injure. So just relax and follow. And at any stage you can always ask questions. We can look at a section. But as I say, I think it's coming well. Let's go down the legs. Feet. Up the legs again. Even if you don't feel like patting your legs, even just touching is a very good way to bring the energy and the awareness to each body part. And just aid recovery, relaxation. Good. And I know that one of you has just been doing very intensive training. I hope you have discovered the joys of Epsom salts hot bath. Very, very recovery, very, very soothing. Okay, let's do our 100 ailments go away. We're going to flop the wrists, dangle them in front, and bounce on the heels. And I'd like all of your floppy bits, please, to go very floppy and wobbly. And even the bits that you wouldn't normally think of as floppy, I want them to go wobbly as well. So let your bone structure do a little vibration. Feel into it. Good. And relax down. And just let everything run out of steam until you're nicely still. Isn't that a lovely feeling? Tingly, buzzy. Oh, lovely. Let's gather up the energy to center, please. Hug your elbows gently in and breathe into your belly. Feel that touch, that warmth of your hands guiding your awareness into center, and feel your energy is stronger. Beautiful, well done everyone, relax down and let's close. Thank you very much indeed folks for joining me today. It's really nice to have a regular practice and to have a group coming together with the same focus. Hopefully it's bringing you good things, it's certainly bringing me good things, and I really appreciate your efforts, so thank you so much. And see you next time.